Week 18 of the 2025 NFL regular season just wrapped up about 2 hours ago, and boy, do we got some stuff to talk about. So let's talk about the Saturday games first, starting with the NFC South. So the Buccaneers beat the Panthers on Saturday, and then they had to wait until Sunday's games to see the winner of the Falcons versus Saints. The Buccaneers needed the Saints to win. If the Saints won, the Buccaneers would have won the division. That didn't happen. The Falcons beat the Saints, so that means the Panthers actually win that division. That division is a complete mess. Staying over on the NFC side of things, Saturday night, Seahawks versus 49ers in a really, really big game. The Seahawks ended up winning that game, which gave them the division and also gives them the number one seed in the NFC. The AFC side of things wasn't as electric as the NFC side of things. All we saw from the AFC today was the Jaguars clinch the AFC South, and with the Broncos win today, they also clinched the number one seed. So here's a full look at the playoff bracket heading into wildcard weekend. For the AFC, the number 6 seed Bills will take on the number 3 Jaguars in Jacksonville. The number 7 seed Chargers will head to New England to take on the number 2 Patriots. The Houston Texans with the 5th seed will head to Pittsburgh. I can't believe I forgot to mention that Pittsburgh game. So I was thinking too hard about anything big that I missed from the noon and afternoon games. Completely forgot about how insane the night game was. The Steelers ended up beating the Ravens to win the AFC North, but holy shit, what a game that was. I actually only caught the last few minutes of that game, but just in the 6-7 minutes I saw, it was absolutely electric. I don't know scores right off the top of my head, but I know Aaron Rodgers found Calvin Austin to take a lead late in the game. Chris Boswell misses the PAT to put Pittsburgh up 2 instead of 3. Pittsburgh kicks the ball back to Baltimore. Baltimore's moving down the field. They send their kicking unit out. As time expires, Tyler Loop out there to hit the game winner. Misses it. So Pittsburgh wins the division on a missed field goal. Absolutely insane. Okay, now that I've said that, let's back it up. Number 5 seed Houston will head to Pittsburgh to take on the number 4 seed Steelers. I'll also be giving my predictions of these after I go over the NFC side. The Rams, who ended up being the 5 seed, will head to Carolina to take on the 4 seed. Man, the Panthers in the playoffs in 2025. What a world. Okay, the scriptwriters kind of actually really cooked with this one. So the Bears finally make themselves into the playoffs, and who's their first opponent? It's the Green Bay Packers. In Chicago, the Bears already beat the Packers in Chicago. I'll go over predictions, like I said, after I finish this, but that game's an interesting one. And then you got the number 6 seed San Francisco 49ers heading to Philadelphia to take on the 3 seed Eagles. Okay, so wild card predictions. Going back over to the AFC side of things, I have the Bills beating the Jaguars in Jacksonville. A little bit of an upset there, but I've been saying since the Chiefs got eliminated, if Josh Allen does not go to the Super Bowl this year, we have to accept the fact that he never will. And I love Josh Allen. I hate to say that, but no Lamar in his way, no Burrow, no Mahomes. Come on. They're handing it to him. But that's not to take away from how good the Patriots have been. I have them going and beating the Chargers in the wild card. Say what you want about the Patriots. I'm a Colts fan. Of course I hate the Patriots. All this talk about their schedule being weak, it has. It definitely has. But what Drake May did this year, you cannot just brush that off. It was incredible. And then I have the red-hot Texans going into Pittsburgh and beating the Steelers. Texans defense is just the nastiest thing I've ever seen. They randomly, something flipped in them, and they were pretty average at the beginning of the year. And then they're just incredibly amazing now. I don't know what happened in Houston, but bravo. Over on the NFC, one of the teams I said at the beginning of the year was going to be a very scary team and dangerous team, even with the pieces they ended up losing. And I have the Rams beating the Panthers. I know the Panthers aren't that good, and I know the Panthers already did beat the Rams this year. But Stafford in the playoffs he's a different animal. Green Bay at Chicago. Getting a trilogy of this matchup this year. They split the regular series 1-1. Home team won both games. You could put a little asterisk that Jordan Love didn't play in the second game. He got hurt pretty early in the second one, so it was Malik Willis at the helm for them that game. But what we've seen from the Bears this year, if you don't beat them by 20 points, you ain't beating them. They're going to fight till that very last second, and they're going to find ways to win. I just don't know if Green Bay's built this year to get up a big lead on the Bears and just sustain it. And then I got the 6 seed San Francisco 49ers beating the number 3 seed Eagles in Philadelphia. San Francisco is just such a stacked, loaded team. They're hard to beat. And I know the Eagles are defending champions, but the Eagles offense just has not been clicking at all this year. Saquon has been... For Saquon's standards, he hasn't been there. He's been good, because he's going to be good every year. but for his standards, he had a pretty down year. AJ Brown just constantly causing drama in the locker room. Eagles offense just they're not much of a threat anymore. Like they have their moments, right? They have some games where they just go absolutely crazy. And maybe during the playoffs we'll see the Eagles of the past again. I hope we do. They were exciting to watch. But just so far we haven't seen it this year. Okay, so there were my 6 predictions for the wild card. Let's move on to the next round. Obviously, Denver and Seattle do not have games wild card weekend. They were the number 1 seed, so they get a bye week. So based on my predictions, the AFC side of things would be the Bills at Denver and Houston at New England. And then over in the NFC, we got the 49ers at Seattle and Rams at Chicago. And I'm calling an upset here. I think the Bills go into Denver, Josh Allen does Josh Allen things, and the Bills walk out with a win. The second game, not an upset. I'm having New England beat Houston. So I didn't even mean to do this, but I apparently have the number 1 seed going down on both sides. I have the 49ers going into Seattle and leaving with a win. And then Rams at Chicago. I'm going with the Rams here. Maybe I'm letting the past kind of manipulate my brain a little bit here, but same old Bears, I'm a hater. Just let me be a Bears hater. All right, based off my predictions on the AFC, we got Bills versus New England and 49ers versus Rams, which both sides actually end up being divisional games. Again, something I did not mean to do. Number 6 seed Bills at the number 2 seed Patriots. Give me the Bills. So the Bills and Patriots actually ended up splitting their regular season games. Both away teams won. Just for some reason, I have more trust in the Bills right now than I do the Patriots. Like I said, I'm a Colts fan, but the Bills would probably be my next favorite team if I had to pick one. I'm just a huge Josh Allen fan. Maybe there's a little bit of bias there. 49ers versus Rams. I could see this matchup being just an absolute shootout, like 35 plus points each team. But I'm going to give it to the Rams. I think Matt Stafford has a very fair shot at winning MVP. He very well could do it. It's probably between him or Drake May. My Super Bowl matchup prediction. The Buffalo Bills versus the Los Angeles Rams. And I already said it. If Josh Allen is ever going to win a Super Bowl, it has to be this year, or else he probably never will. With no Mahomes to crush his dreams for like the 4th time, no Lamar to make his defense look like fools, no Burrow to just stand back in the pocket and just dissect the Bills' defense. But that's not where I'm going. Give me the Rams. Something about the way the Rams team is assembled, like they obviously there's the big names. There's a Stafford, there's Puka, Devontae Adams is there. They got some young studs on the defensive side of things. But what I love so much about the Rams is that everybody is contributing somehow. Like, you'll consistently see these quarterbacks be forcing it to their number 1 guys. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua would be one. But Stafford does a really good job at getting the ball to everybody to where the defense can't only focus on Puka or Devontae. And I also just don't have a lot of faith in the Bills' defense. They have not been very good this year. And I also have zero faith in Sean McDermott. I think he should have been fired a good while ago. And I know you're going to disagree with something, so just let me know in the comments below what you disagree with. And hopefully my Colts can bounce back next year.